Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Still here, still going through my marathon journey, sampling and recording reviews of the Nikka Whisky range, and now I've got to, a single malt from the Nikka range called Yoichi. Now, this is kind of like the genesis story, because Yoichi is a single malt, which is the original malt distillery, the original distillery that the founder had set up all the way back in 1934. After having spent time in Scotland, learning the trade, learning the secrets, and refining his skill, and having worked for someone else in Japan for a period of time to set up a different distillery, he finally got down to setting up Yoichi. In 1934, he found a beautiful spot of Japan, which kind of was similar to what he recalled or desired from locations in Scotland he's seen, beautiful forests, rivers, and mountains everywhere. Really, really good. So this is the single malt that comes from one distillery only. Well, that's in the name, right? Single malt. All the whiskey has come from Yoichi, whereas tonight, as I've recorded other reviews so far of the Nikka Days, the Taketsuru pure malt, which is the blended malt, and the Nikka from barrel, which are all of God's compositions of whiskies from different distilleries. This is a single source from one distillery, the original distillery that they had set up and bottled at a slightly more generous 45% ABV. Now, if you've watched the other three reviews so far, you would have heard me say this repeatedly. These are available all the time, and they're very reasonably priced. Now, the whiskies from Japan, they're winning a lot of awards, especially the single malts. They've taken the world by storm, just clearing up the awards. But what that's done is put the price right up for a lot of the single malts from Japan, and somehow Nikka has kind of stayed either under the radar or they have extra supply. Whereas some of the Suntory single malts, the Yamazaki and Hakushu, which I've been to actually, I've been to both Hakushu and Yamazaki, they have just kind of priced themselves out of the pocket of the common man, where these in New Zealand are around $110, $120. So still a reasonably priced whiskey that you can try once if you want to extend yourself or in the habit of spending money well beyond $110, $120, you can revisit it, because it's reasonably priced and it's available. I'm going to keep fixating on that. It's available. It's here. You can try it. Now, this one has a bit of peaty character to it. All the research I did on the website, and then I watched a couple of other reviews by other YouTubers, and they kind of called it the lighter version of Talisker from Scotland, which I thought was awesome. That's really good. I like smoky whiskies, but sometimes, we currently in the middle of New Zealand summer, so you don't want too peaty. There can be a thing as too much smoky character, especially during the summer. You want something a bit light and delicate, but interesting. So hopefully this one will deliver on that promise. All right, let's see what's it like on the nose. I'm just going to quickly check on my notes on this one. There we go. Found it. All right. Sweet. Fresh on the nose. They're real gentle. Sort of maritime character is on the nose. Oh, and now for first time, a little bit oily character on the nose. Maybe because of the single malt. Very light. And I detect next to no smokiness on the nose so far. Maybe a hint of citrus. This is lovely. Now, I personally haven't really opened a lot of single malt bottles from both the Nikka distilleries. I have opened Yoichi and I'm going to butcher the name again. Better read it before I say it. Miyagikyo Miyagikyo. Did I say it right? Mainly because normally when I've done tastings or when I've opened the bottles for sort of friends I'm hosting, I've kind of deliberately opened bottles well under the $100, where these sit just above the $100. So I've only ever opened 2 or 3 times these bottles. And in the past, I've always enjoyed them, right? Because there are occasions when you do feel like drinking a Japanese whiskey, but you don't really want to blow the budget. You know, I have some 12-year-old Suntory whiskeys, which for purposes of this video, I'm not going to say, let's say, a lot of money. So you need something single malt from Japan every now and then. And I've leaned back on Yoichi and the other single malt because you don't want to spend too much money. You know, I personally don't buy into the whole hype that whiskey sometimes gain. You know, I mean, this is the reason why I don't, with my own money, buy and open Campbelltown whiskies from Scotland, because they are just so ridiculously overpriced and they mean a lot to someone else. So it might as well go to the other person. Whereas how I'm trying to tie in the story or the analogy is the 2 malt whiskies, single malt whiskies from Nikka, are available quite easily all of the time. Hopefully it is available in your territory all of the time, and they remain at a good price, which is such a beautiful thing. It makes it accessible for the average drinker or the mid-level sort of spending drinker. You know, it's there for you. Maybe you're blessed with a lot of income. You can spend $300-400 on a single malt from other single malt whiskey distilleries in Japan. But for now, I'll stick to this. All right, let's see what's it like on the palate. All right, I'll comment on one thing first. Having sat here tonight and tried 3 blended whiskies, my palate currently is incredibly appreciative of a full malt whiskey, the malted barley. Something has to be said about it, right? It's not just marketing. It is a lot better on the palate, and right now it's just oozing sweetness. There's like a distinct nutty character as well. It's not all sweetness. The gentle smoke is there on the palate. The kind of, you know, I referred to it before, the semi-Talisker kind of vibe. It's there. The smoke is lingering. There's gentle spice. And there's the nutty character, kind of like a almond. And yeah, it's there. Oh, try one more time. I'm really excited. Single malt whiskey from Japan for around $120. And it's available. You can try it. It could be in your glass. More of that sweetness is there. Really nice. I mean, right now, sitting here recording this review, I'm thinking I would love to put this into a blind tasting set. Right? You're doing a tasting. And I would love to pit this particular whiskey against, let's not say names, around that sort of $90 to $120 Scotch whiskies. And I don't think people will be able to pick if this is Japanese or not, or the price of it, or the age of it. Really punches above its weight in the price it's going for. Very, very lovely whiskey. Very lovely whiskey. Oh, very rewarding. Now I want to try some of the aged stock. Maybe it will come to New Zealand. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe it will come. And I just love these bottles because it's the same bottle they used for the Taketsuru, the pure malt, the blended malt. Just love the shape and the feel of this bottle. Just that much more heavier. Feels premium. Feels, you know, after a hard day's work, you come home, you want a nice bottle in your hand. Obviously, you want the contents to be really nice, but you just want a heavy, nice bottle in your hand as well. Really, really good. Really, really good. And I mean, in a way, this also pays homage, you know, to what they're all about. This is the origin story. This is the first distillery. And this is the main single malt available from Nikka, from this particular Yoichi distillery. Really nice. Loved it. Well, that's all I had to say about this particular whiskey. If you are liking the content, Please like, share, subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future for another whiskey review. See you later. Bye-bye.